too much. They got nothing to say. Some people got the right words and they're what we need to hear.
Cheers, ladies. Another night.
Yes.
Cheers.
Wine is the best thing.
Eye contact. So what is it? If there's no eye contact, it's
You don't have good sex.
Bad luck.
bad
It's
luck.
bad luck.
Bad luck.
I thought it was
bad
bad
sex?
sex.
It's bad.
I don't think so.
I always heard it was
Oh
bad
no.
sex.
Well, I don't want neither.
So I've always been
Okay.
like,
We're like,
I'm like do-over. Like, for real?
all right, girls. Cher, will you do us the honors?
Yes.
What's the question of
What's
the
the
day?
question?
she's a
Tonight.
good one.
Make it juicy.
Oh.
Uh-oh. That looks like a long one.
It's really long.
What is your ideal relationship? Ooh. And relationship is spelled wrong.
Oh, shit.
It's like relation.
Oh, what a
What do you
question.
think about that? Maybe. Probably. Okay, ideal relationship.
Barack and Obama. I mean,
Barack Obama. Where did that come from?
Obama
That's
and
your
Michelle.
ideal man.
You think that's the ideal couple?
After reading her book and then reading his book,
Okay.
and the way that they talk about each other,
Aw.
it's been like,
They do seem very in love.
it's not even just love. Like
Their partnership.
Their partnership.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they talk about their bad times and their
good
good times. And she, like, even with the good times, or like she explains that like this time happened and it made me reflect on the bad, and like, you know, like how we've triumphed through the bad. And like it didn't make it seem like it was a fairy tale relationship. It was like we
Right.
had to work through this. And I relate because my husband's biracial, so she had to deal with a lot of like his white side and like trying to figure out
So
his black side.
where comes from your boyfriend?
His mom is British and Scottish,
Okay.
and his dad is Nigerian. So I kind of had
okay,
like,
I can imagine.
like when I was reading like her
Okay.
book and like
You
his
can
book,
relate.
I could relate on certain
Yeah.
things.
Right.
I just felt like they had a good partnership.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's funny you say that because that's what my answer would be. My ideal relationship is a partnership. It's someone that you feel they're like complicit with you. You
Yeah.
know, they had like you're thinking something and you barely have to say it. And
Yeah.
they kind of see where you're going with
Absolutely.
it. You know what I mean? And then they don't need to be like you, but they complement you.
I agree.
So the things that you're not so good at, they're good at. And when you're feeling low,
They pick you up.
they can
pick
pick
you
you
up.
up.
Yeah.
You know, and vice versa. I feel like it's just about great teamwork. That's an ideal relationship.
A
for
solid
me.
partnership.
But
Yeah.
because you can't think that passion will always be there
Right.
when you just choose your partner.
Right.
The fire is not on all the time,
right.
24/7.
She's like, you have to like,
She's like, BTW? Dear Diary.
yeah.
Dear diary.
You have to work through it, like, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like, and I realized that, and I tell like my friends like all the time, and you girls, that like having like one marriage and being in a second marriage, like I thought.
I can't
that
believe
it-
you were married twice.
I know. nobody
Girl,
knows what I'm
you're my
doing.
age.
It was young. Down south, like my people get married so young. They have like my friends in Texas have like 4 or 5 kids.
Oh my
They're
God.
like deep in their like doctors, pharmacisticians, stuff like that. Like
I
they're
can't
deep in like.
imagine having kids any younger.
It's only in
neither.
Canada. When I lived here, I realized like, oh, you can have kids later, and like you can do things
course.
later. No, in
What's
in
the
the
urge?
South,
Yeah.
in Texas, like you finish school, like you.
And boom.
But some of them have like solid partnerships, and like some of them are like genuinely
high school sweethearts.
extremely happy in their relationship. And like I've been like that devil's advocate that's like, but would you like to move on? And the friends have been like, no, I'm like really happy. I'm like, there should be someone
you know
else.
what's out there? No, those couples who've been together like that, like your husband is the only
Yeah.
guy you ever been with. You're like,
Yeah, but some of them are actually
wow.
just happy.
Yeah.
And I find that it's because they have solid partnerships.
Wow.
And it's not
It's
like
the
one
friendship,
person or
yeah.
second. It's like, it's pretty even though. In
Because
most
that's
of
what
the
I would say.
relationships.
I would say my ideal relationship is like
Yeah,
we're
because
best
you're
friends.
single, let's
we're
say.
best
Yeah.
friends.
Best friends?
I don't want to be best friends with my husband.
No?
mean-
Why not?
I wanna
Really?
be-
I do.
I do.
I have best friends that I vent to about certain things and stuff like that. I want to be good friends. Like, okay, well,
You want to be best friends.
Because to me, I experienced
see
this. Like to me, the reason I broke up with my ex in a lot of ways is because we weren't best friends.
Okay.
We were good friends, but like, yeah,
What do you
like
mean by best friends? You couldn't
best
tell
friends.
him?
I mean, like to be with him is like effortless. It's like he knows me.
Right.
I want your best friend. They know you in a way where you don't have to like try. It's just like you're just together and everything's so effortless.
Knows you. Yes.
They just like you just go together so well.
Yes.
You know, like I want that. Like this is feeling like you're my best friend in the whole world, and at the same time, I'm like so obsessed with you.
But do you think that that's realistic? Do you
No.
think that that can actually...
It's realistic?
Because men don't think the way that we do.
No.
That's
No.
just the reality of it.
It's
So do
actually,
you
like,
think
proven.
that that's actually possible for a guy to be in sync with you that way, to that
It
extent?
is
think so,
possible.
yeah.
It is
Really?
possible.
Why not?
It is possible.
it will not be like that.
I agree with you. No, I
it
agree
will not
with
be
you.
like that 100% of the time.
But listen, there's some stuff you tell your girlfriends.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
that's my point.
And there's stuff you just tell the man of
you
your
agree
life.
with that?
I
Your
do agree
girlfriend.
with
But your
this.
real best friend is going to be your girlfriend.
But no, but there's best friends
Well,
who are guys though.
yeah,
No, but you can have
depends.
guy best. I just mean
they
like
don't
I
get
just mean the level of comfort, the level of like
Comfort,
of
yes.
ease, of like how you feel like they know you.
Right.
Yeah.
They know you almost better than you know yourself. Like, you know, in that way. And that way your best friends do.
Yeah.
You know why I'm laughing? Because sometimes my husband, he's like, I know you better than you know yourself. And I'm like, you don't know me. Okay.
But they know
don't know
us.
me,
But they know.
okay?
But they know. They absolutely know.
I
That's
just find that
good,
like
though.
there's two separations.
being
Like
like,
there's like
I
your
know.
husband friendship, and then there's
He
like
do, he
your
do, you know
friend
you.
friendship. You know what I mean? Like what I say to her.
You
some-
want to say to your boyfriend. to
Sometimes
your
I talk to
husband.
her about things that I would never talk to him about.
Me too.
You know what I
Same.
mean? And I
same
feel like there has
here.
to be some kind of like.
That doesn't mean they're not your best friend.
But
different-
there's some
different
stuff
kinds
you
of best
tell
friends.
I
Different
agree.
types
But
of
listen,
friendships.
Different kinds of friendships.
Yeah,
There's
I
some
agree.
stuff you tell your husband that you would never tell me. You understand what I'm saying?
I
Or
agree.
you would never tell your best friend.
I agree. But I used to have a good friend that I was married to, and I lost the passion. So for me, like I prefer having like someone that I'm like passionately, like. Sometimes I look at my husband like,
Okay, so
But
you
I'm
gotta
saying,
have
but I'm
that
saying,
passion.
I want
Okay.
both. I want him to be my best friend. I want to be like so passionate about
Yeah.
him, like just like obsessed with. I want everything.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna settle.
everything in one. But I find it's really hard in the single market. Listen, ladies, we all have our man here, but you're single.
she's like, I want it all. Meanwhile, we're like, nah, she ain't gonna get it all.
We're like, settle down.
No, but sometimes I really truly think, let's say my boyfriend, he just, he leaves me for another chick, and I'm on the single, I'm back to on the single market, and exactly what I'm looking for in a man, I'm like, oh my God, that's gonna be a rough.
Yeah, it's
gonna be
It is tough. Dating in general
gonna be
can
tough.
You're gonna pray about it.
I see a lot of my friends.
I swear.
Yeah,
please
it's true
God.
because I see a lot of my
pray
single
about it.
friends settling because they're like settling and
true.
they're like, well, at this point, I just like we're gonna have to work through it, this and that, whatever, multiple and like in different sectors, like all settling.
Yeah. Right.
So-
A lot of girls do feel like they have to settle. A lot of women lose hope, I think. And unfortunately, a lot of women are still driven by that clock. They're like, I'm getting old, I need to have babies, so I need to just settle down with whoever I can settle down with.
I don't think it's a good reason, but yeah,
A lot of
I get
people
it.
do, though.
But a lot of people do.
And guys too. I've heard guys say like, oh, she's the best bet.
Oh.
I'm 35.
I just like
Really?
went to a wedding where I know.
yeah.
That was it?
And it was the
Yeah,
guy? Oh, usually I feel like it's rare that it's the guy.
I told you.
is,
I can't
though.
say names,
It
but like
is.
we
Guys
were all
do,
there
too.
like, it's the ticket
I
for
feel
him.
like it's
He wants to
rare
have a
that
kid.
it's guys. I mean, I know it can happen, but usually because guys have more time than us in a way.
For sure, but they feel like they want what we want. I think we forget that. Like they want a family. Like they
Yeah.
want that.
Well,
he's
and
like
they don't
in
want to
his
be like
40s,
too
like,
old.
he wants
you know?
like one kid at
Yeah,
least.
they
you
want
know
a
what I
kid.
mean?
They
Like-
want like.
I don't know
And their
about
parents
that.
put pressure on them. Their parents are like, oh, like what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
It's probably the question they always get.
Right.
Like, where's the girl? Like,
When are you gonna give me?
when are you gonna get
grandkids?
married?
Yeah.
Yeah.
think so. I think guys have more options than we do.
They do, but I've
They
heard guys
settle.
tell me,
Tells the
like,
women?
oh, I need to go.
Absolutely. Even though we can get any guys we want, but because we have, standards. Exactly. We have standards.
High standards.
High standards.
Yes.
Especially women like us.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I've had guys say that Montreal is a different kind of market. Like I've had guy
Right.
friends, like my husband's friends in like Vancouver
Yeah.
or overseas, say like Montreal has like a lot of good-looking, like ambitious
Of course,
people.
we're
Like
the best.
Montreal.
We're known for that in the entire world, of course. But still, our standards.
In the entire world.
Yeah,
Universe.
not just
Okay.
Canada, the entire world.
But a lot of men told me that Montreal women
It's
are
true.
the best
I have
looking.
to say this. Like even when we travel, I say
telling
Montreal.
you.
I'm
I
like,
have
oh,
heard
you
that
have
before,
beautiful
too.
women there.
I've heard
There
Yeah.
you go, because they
Oh.
have all kinds. Black,
White, Asian,
white,
Spanish,
choose.
whatever.
Yep.
We have everything here. But listen, for real. I mean, by standards, my standards are very, very high. This is why if I would be single, it would need,
hard.
oh
It would
my
be
God, it
harder.
would be really, really hard because yes, I'm looking for that partnership, but I'm looking for that guy that's really passionate,
Right.
ambitious.
Ambitious, yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's really important. I can't stand the laziness. I can't.
Right.
Oh,
I
that's
agree.
so.
No, like we don't want a lazy man.
No, I can. And
No,
sharing
I
the
don't
same
want no
values,
scrubs.
scrubs is like I can't get no love.
Why do
from
we know
you.
all the words on the your best friend's right? And the
You can't pay
passenger's
my
side.
bills, can't pay my telephone
Yeah.
bills, can't pay no.
We know all the rap songs by heart.
They're like, bye.
Even when they get fast, we're like, bill.
Those are the songs you gotta know.
Well, listen, and sharing the same values because I'm from a Haitian background,
Right.
and family is really important to me.
Right.
I want kids. I want kids. I want to get married. For guys today to have all of this, I mean,
Yeah, it's hard.
it's
So
hard.
wait, so
But
if I
it's-
get it
think
right,
that we can. It's
It's
there.
hard.
They're there, though.
I know they're there.
so wait, you're saying that
Just show your
for
face.
men it's
Yeah.
easier because their standards are lower,
Yes.
so they have
They
more
are.
to choose
I
from.
Guys'
agree.
standards
Yes.
are low.
I do
Yes,
agree.
Guys'
you
standards
just
are low.
need a good
Guys
ass,
will
big
settle.
boobs.
I agree.
Guys are
And-
like,
Basically
like-
smart a bit, whatever. And I'm telling you, you're set.
guys.
One
guys are
guy
low.
that
You
we
don't even have to be smart. I feel
no,
like
they
you don't
kind
have
of
to
look
be
for
smart.
smart girls now. Like
No,
they,
not really.
A little bit,
A lot
like-
of those guys don't even
they
care.
want to
know,
make sure that
guys.
you're at least making a certain
No,
amount of
they
money.
be like,
you have
but
good
she look good
benefits,
though. That's
that
all
you're
they care
independent.
about.
that you're independent. Like,
But the looks
Independent
is really
yes.
important for men, and if you go, in the room and you give them what they want, I mean, you're good.
I also think
Me,
a guy
I
doesn't
don't-
want someone who is so. I think we're all very intimidating, and I don't think guys
They
go
don't-
for that
no, they
immediately. I think they
don't.
want someone who's less intimidating, someone who they can kind of dominate in
Yeah.
a way. They don't want the girl who's
And they
going to
probably
challenge
feel like they
them.
need for them to shine. The girl needs to be a little bit more.
I guess so,
you
or
know.
that
But
we
it's
will,
their
or that we will
nature.
challenge them. Like we will challenge
Don't
them.
forget,
to
a
be
man's nature
better.
is about to protecting his
Yeah.
girl, is about to be, the one.
Right.
It's in his nature, it's in his genes, right? So for him, the standard of how much money you're making, they don't care about that. We do care.
we care.
Trust me, we care, okay? I'm telling the truth
Well, because
here.
I don't want to be the
care.
one holding the household.
Right?
Yeah.
My mom always told me, you'd rather cry in your freaking Mercedes Benz than to cry in the metro. She always told
Exactly.
Girl down south that
Oh
you driving
my
like
God.
a truck.
Exactly.
Yes, I know, but you know what I'm saying?
It's true, though.
City's like, oh my God, that was raw.
But it's so good.
It's
I'm
true.
like, I
It's
would
pretty
rather-
good.
I'm like, I would rather cry in my Mercedes
true,
than in the
though.
metro.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true. You're
It's true. But the men, you don't care about that. Men don't care about that.
No.
They're just like, okay, if I go in a party and I have to introduce my girlfriend to my friends, yeah, I'd rather introduce a freaking hot girl than
Yeah.
a really smart engineer.
Who's going to challenge everyone there?
Okay, but wait. To
Right?
be fair, I
Right.
do think that at the very least, though, at least a man who has somewhat of a brain, he'll want a woman that's going to be a good mother. to his kids.
Well, that's
Oh,
what
of
that's what
course.
the guy, the wedding that we went to.
That, she at
he
least
wanted
needs to have
course.
that.
He
Of
said that
course.
she's gonna be a
Yeah.
good mom.
Yeah.
And when he said
Of
that, I was like,
course.
all right, I need
And
to
they
back
will
off.
stay. They might cheat, but they will stay.
I think he's definitely gonna cheat.
they will
but he'll
stay
stay.
because
I feel like guys are kind of old
they,
school.
yeah,
that
they
way.
want someone that they know their kids are going to be set.
Yeah.
you
I
know.
wish we could just ask a guy right now.
Well, we could.
Like, what would you do?
But listen, I mean, what I really look into a relationship is partnership, like you said, guys.
I just want a good partnership.
Sharing the
Partnership,
same values.
for sure.
Because
Values is really important.
values is really
It's everything.
important.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what about sex? Seriously,
Oh,
if it
girl.
doesn't work,
Yes, it has to be
I
popping.
mean, it
has
has
to be good.
to. It has
It has
to.
to be good.
It has
But
to
I
work.
no, okay, but I feel like listen, I feel like there not that sex is not important. Obviously it has its part.
Right.
But there's so many things that you could do to, make it interesting. So I feel like that's the least of your worries. There are harder things
Really?
to fix
Okay.
than sex. Because
Yeah.
if like
But for
know,
them, it's not
Yes,
true though.
Yes. Okay, yes, but the first thing, the first indicator of when the relationship is going bad is when you don't want to.
Have sex
You're like,
That's true.
when you don't want to
you don't
have
have sex
sex.
with them. You're like, oh, something's going wrong.
I tried to go a week
I s-
recently without doing it because it's
See?
our anniversary.
You see, you
And
can't.
like we're like
That's
getting like
good.
aggressive. It's like, "Rah." So and we started fantasizing like, so should we get costumes?
oh my god.
And I'm like, yeah, what do you want me to be? He's like, what do you want to be? I was like, I don't know. Maybe, because like, it's like aggression, you know what I mean?
I know, because she's like Wonder Woman. Like,
Oh.
Superheroes for sure.
Yeah. He's like, but are we going to commit
they're
to
all
it? I was
like-
like, oh, I'll commit. And like,
But you know what? I saw this thing and it was like a therapy, like couples therapy thing. And it was saying that when sex is good, it's not really significant in a relationship.
not.
But when sex is bad, it can be very significant.
I actually
in a
agree with that
relationship.
100%.
Absolutely.
Because when we were like, whenever we fight, and it's like, obviously, because every relationship you have those arguments, and we have like bad sex, it's like, oh, okay, we need to like discuss this. Like we like, you know, like you have to discuss it because something.
Right.
talk about this.
Something's
Something,
going on.
right,
Yeah,
yeah, you know?
Something's going on.
Some,
Yeah.
you know, like, and that's when we
Yeah.
actually have like a focused conversation, and then afterwards,
But you
it's
see,
like,
I don't know. For me, because of how I grew up and how unstable my childhood was, I feel like in my relationship, I look for safety.
For sure.
I want him to make me feel safe.
that's your
I-
sign too, as a Taurus.
Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah. As a Taurus, we're earth
Yeah.
bound.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
You guys are
want-
very
we
like
want
family
stability.
and stability.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to feel like it's solid. Like you have my back no matter what happens. Like loyalty. Like I need to feel safe.
That's basically
totally
the
understand.
description of your sign.
Patrick.
Oh,
my
like her
sign?
sign.
But
of
also
Taurus.
like Virgos, they're earth signs. A Virgo man is like,
Yeah.
going to
And
be
I
able to
have
give
to
you
say,
that,
like,
you know?
him and I definitely have our issues that we work out, and like, there's always a roller coaster
Right.
that's marriage. But one of his best qualities is that he's always open to work on things. Like, I'll tell him, I'm like, I'm pissed off about this, or I'm hurt by that, or whatever. I need this, I need that. And like, he'll listen and say, okay,
Yeah.
all right, I'm going to work on that.
It's a partnership.
Yes.
It is, absolutely.
And that makes the whole difference.
Yeah.
And more importantly, he's a great father to our
so
daughter.
important.
Yeah.
Like,
important.
we've had some fights that the way that I am, the way I'm set up, okay, I would have walked away. But then I remember, I'm like, he's such an amazing dad.
Yeah.
This is the kind of person I want for my daughter. And that has always made me think, like, okay,
A good
let's
dad.
work this
Yeah,
out. He's
and
an
when we
amazing
have
dad.
conversations, he like brings up the stats. Like earlier today, he's like, we're having a conversation.
Well,
and
he's
he
a
like
scientist.
busts out
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
the,
yeah.
he's like, according to this study. Da, 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 da.
But I do think that that's important that people understand that a partnership takes work.
A lot of work.
A lot of people are so easy to walk away from it
Yeah.
and like be like, well, the next one will be easy, but it's
No,
not easy. Like
it's never
everything that
greener,
you do
never.
will be work, and
No.
like there will be lows, there will be highs, but like you have to realize that like there was always that good point where you guys were like good, and you just because there's gonna be more shit that just piles up,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
But it's
Second
so
kid,
hard, though,
more
because-
work, more
Okay,
this, and you
but
just have to
can I
find
just add
that like
something?
comfort zone.
I think that the ideal partnership is one where you bring out the best in each other. Okay, because
Yeah.
that's really
true.
what it is. Because like
That's
to
true.
me, like when I know, like with my ex, I felt like we were like our worst selves. Like
Together.
yeah, like I like the side of me that came out was like
I couldn't
Didn't
agree
like
more.
So
it.
for you, it's like bringing out the best out of each
bring,
other.
like where I want to be my best self. Like he makes me want to. He supports me.
Right.
And makes me into my best.
helps
He,
you
he
shine.
wants me. He helps me shine. He makes me like something about him makes me want to be like my best
Yeah.
person.
And see, for me, it's safety.
Yeah.
And for you, it's
Sharing values.
sharing values.
For me, it's a partnership.
Partnership.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Well,
that's
amazing.
the 4 things. Would
You know
be-
what?
I think if we were all together.
How about cheers?
we should just be together.
Let's date each other.
We should just date each other.
Cheers to that.
Cheers in the eyes for no bad luck or no bad sex. There you go.
Yeah, good sex. Come on.
Cheers.